Here's something that I think about all the time. At what point do women have enough of their own stories, excuses, the things that they tell themselves, and actually just start taking action towards the thing that they have wanted to achieve for so long? And I mean so long, because most of the conversations that I have with women each day is I've been struggling with X for years. So at what point does something happen? At what point is there a switch in their head? At what point do they decide that they've had enough and that they are ready to make a change? Just something to think about. Hi, my name's Rachel and I'm the founder of Level Up, where we create confident women. And if you're on this video today, it suggests that you want to know what's going on in my head. And that thing that is going on in my head is this constant conversation that I have with different women every single day about their struggles, about what's been going on, about why they're not where they want to be. The women that look like they have it all going on, they've got it all together, they've got it all sorted in their careers, their relationships, their personal lives, so to speak, but inside they don't. They don't even recognise themselves, and they have been struggling with this for years and years and years, yet they still haven't done anything about it. And whether that's because they're telling themselves stories that they can't do it, whether they're saying it's not the right time, whether they've got too much going on, whether maybe they feel worried that they're going to be judged for putting themselves first, whatever the reason is, I still am trying to get to the bottom of understanding why they haven't taken action yet. And what is the thing that really holds them back from taking action? Because look, you're always going to have reasons why you can't do something. There's always going to be something that gets in the way. And do you know what? The ladies that we work with right now, and even myself included, there are always things that happen on the journey that stop you or can stop you from doing what you need to do. But they've still taken action. I've still taken action. So what is the thing that stops the women that haven't taken action from taking action? And these women are the ones that appear really confident from the outside, but they lack so much internal confidence. The confidence that they portray is fake. They think that if they just look like they have it all together, then no one's going to know that they're struggling with confidence. No one's going to know that they don't feel like themselves. No one's going to know that they aren't actually who they want to be. And that's a big thing, right? Imagine getting to the end of your life and sitting there and realising that you've not actually done what you wanted to do. You've not actually become the woman that you wanted to be. And so many women live their lives like they have another life to come. They live their lives thinking that it's all right, I'll sort it out later. But what a poor attitude that is. Like, why would you not, and this is the conversation again, like, why would you not want to do something about how you feel? Why would you want to spend your life feeling uncomfortable, unhappy, constantly covering up, lacking confidence, acting like you've got it all together, but crippling inside? Like, why has that become the norm? Why has that become the thing that women accept? I don't know too much about this, right? But I always, again, something else I always think about. If we rewind however many years to when men and women weren't seen as quite as equal as they are now, women would fight, or did fight, for so much for the future generations of women, right? They fought for us to be able to vote. So why are we now not fighting for the things that we have full control over? Why are we not fighting for the taking care of ourselves? Like, why are we not putting in the effort? Why are we expecting everything to be easy? I just don't get it. And that's why, well, part of the reason why I created Level Up. It's part of the reason why I do what I do, because I know what it's like to lack confidence. Like, a few years ago, you would not have caught me at any point sat in front of a camera like this, or if you did, it would be heavily filtered. I would be sat like at specific angles. I'd just yeah, I would die at the thought of me sitting in front of a camera right now where it's just totally relaxed conversation. I've got no notes. I'm literally just chatting and expressing my thoughts. So I have been there where I lacked confidence. I've been there where I hated what I saw in the mirror. I've been there where I did not follow through on my word. But now I'm on the flip side of it. I totally understand what it feels like now to feel confident. And it makes me then even more confused why you wouldn't want to get yourself to this place. Confidence isn't about looking a certain way. It's not about being a certain dress size or whatever else you want to describe in terms of physical appearance. Confidence is about doing what you said you would do. It's about keeping those promises that you make to yourself. It's about keeping the promises you make to other people, becoming a woman of your word. Like, how embarrassing would it be if you said to someone, maybe your partner, your kids, your boss, that you would do something and you didn't do it? They would have no faith in you. So why do you do that with yourself? Why is it accepted that women don't take care of themselves? Why is it just like, oh yeah, I'll start again next week? At what point does that change? And why hasn't that changed? Why is that the norm? That's just a question that I keep asking myself. And another question I keep asking myself is, how can I get my brain into someone else's brain? How can I get them to see that as well? How can I help more women? How can I help more women to finally feel confident? Right? I'm the woman that creates confident women. So how can we create more of those women? And that's why I wanted to film this really raw video today. No script, no notes, nothing. Just thoughts in my head. Because, as I said, you wouldn't have caught me doing this a few years ago. I would have crumbled, absolutely crumbled at the fact a camera is in my face right now, yet there's no one there that I'm talking to, right? But the reason I can do that is because I've kept the promises that I've made to myself, and I keep repeating stuff that I need to do over and over again. And the reason why you don't feel confident is because you keep breaking the promises that you keep making. You're not a woman of your word. And you might be in some areas, but if you're not consistent across every area of your life, you're not confident. And that's like heartbreaking, right? I can only imagine what it feels like every day having to fake this confidence, having to pretend that you feel great in yourself. And look, don't get me wrong. When you feel great with how you look, obviously that adds to your confidence, like without a shadow of a doubt. But the only way you'll feel great with how you look is by keeping the promises that you keep making to yourself. So if you don't do what you need to do, you're not going to get the results anyway. So not only will you not change physically, but you're not going to feel confident. So it is this big cycle. And you're probably stuck in another cycle right now, the self-sabotage cycle, where you try to get results and then something happens, so you try and soothe yourself with a self-sabotaging behaviour, which then means you haven't kept the promise that you made to yourself and you think you're going to start again on Monday. There has to become a point where you stop kidding yourself that you're going to do something without external help. It's okay to get help. It's okay to admit that you're struggling. It's okay to say, do you know what? I look like I've got it all together on the outside, but I actually don't. Those things are fine to do. But until you admit that, you are just going to stay stuck in this cycle. You're just going to stay stuck feeling rubbish. And like, how much of your life do you actually want to waste feeling rubbish? How much longer do you want to go round in the same circle, not making any change, spending another Christmas at your work stew, at your family Christmas meals, feeling uncomfortable, saying you'll start again in January. January comes, you try, you fall off track by February, then you try this quick diet before you go on your summer holiday and it doesn't work, and then you say you'll start again and you just keep going round and round and round. Like, how much longer do you want to live a life like that? And here's the other thing. If you can put so much time and energy into your career, whether you've got your own business, whether you've got a high up role, whether you're a CEO, whatever you are, if you can put that much time and energy into that, then you have got some energy available to put it into yourself. But the problem is you've got no direction and you don't actually know what you need to do in order to pour it into yourself, because what you've tried before has been 101 different things that are restrictive, that are overwhelming, that do not complement your life. So therefore you think that in order to make a change, in order to feel great about yourself, you have to sacrifice parts of your career or parts of your personal life or relationships or whatever it might be. You think you have to sacrifice parts of those things in order to gain confidence, and you don't. But what you do need to do is find the thing that is going to ensure that you gain confidence, that you feel great in yourself, and that guarantees results. If you keep trying all of these other things that you keep doing, or even worse, if you keep believing the stories that you keep telling yourself about why you can't do something, you're just going to stay stuck in this cycle and nothing will change. And if nothing changes, nothing changes. And you'll be listening to another video, another podcast, something else in 6 months' time. And you'll probably be in a worse position. There has to become a point where you stop believing the stories that you keep telling yourself, admit that you need help and support, and you go out and get it. And if that point is now, if this video has just made you go, do you know what, Rach? I need your help. You're the woman that produces confident women, so please, please help me. If that's you, I've put a link around this video. I've opened up a couple of slots for a call this week. No pressure call. We're just going to have a chat. I'm a human being. I've been there myself. I run my own business now. I know what it's like to not feel confident and run your own business and act like everything's fine on the outside. That was me. So if you need my help, please book a time that suits you. We're going to run through exactly what you're struggling with, what it is that you want to achieve, and any hurdles, any challenges that you feel like could potentially get in the way of you achieving that. We'll map it all out, and look, if you decide that it's not the right fit, and if I decide that we can't help you, you're still going to leave the call knowing exactly what you need to do. So it's a win-win situation. I hope you've enjoyed this raw episode. I'm going to be doing more of these, so make sure you hit the subscribe button so you do not miss another one. Speak to you on the next one.